how much can I do at Epic Universe without Express Pass? Hey everyone, I'm back at Epic University and I'm going to see how much I can accomplish at this park now that it is officially open without Express Pass. I am a resort guest, so I do get an hour early for early park admission, which, spoiler alert, we're currently in the process of. Let's quickly recap what I've done so far this morning.
So like I said, I was a resort guest and I was staying at Stella Nova, which is just across the street, and I left Stella Nova at 7:50 a.m. and walked over to Epic. Now you can see that only Super Nintendo World, Dark Universe, and Stardust Racers will be open for early park admission, and they do check your room key to verify that you are a hotel guest before entering either of those worlds or getting onto Stardust Racers. I got to Epic at 8:02 a.m. and in line for security by 8:05. They started letting people through security at 8:20 a.m. and if you were a part of early park admission, you went to the left. If you were not, you went to the right. This was at 8:35 a.m. Now the gift shops are already open, so I did pop in there because they have some new merchandise since the previews, but they did start letting us get into the rest of the park at 8:50 a.m. Most people did end up going to either Super Nintendo World or Stardust Racers. I went to Dark Universe first and I got to Monsters Unchained at 8:59 a.m. It was a walk-on, but you do skip the pre-shows this early. After that, I got in line for Curse of the Werewolf at 9:15 a.m. It was a 5-minute wait and it was just a simple walk-on, so I was done with all of that by 9:29 a.m., which is when I headed over into Super Nintendo World. I got into the single rider line for Kart Madness at 9:33 a.m. It was a posted 75-minute wait when I got in line, and my wait in single rider was 30 minutes.
I didn't rope drop Battle at the Ministry this morning because it doesn't open until park open, and I have heard that the Floop network effect doesn't actually start until park open, and I have a theory that single rider won't be too long right when it opens. So that's what I'm going to test out today, but let's go find out. Okay, so single rider for Battle of the Ministry is not open right now, which I don't really know when they tend to open that. So I'll just kind of continue checking back because unfortunately that's not something you can see in the app. But right now, Hiccup Swing Gliders is a 10-minute wait. So I'm gonna head over there and hop on that.
Hiccup Swing Gliders is a family-style coaster in the Isle of Berk portal and has a 40-inch height requirement. I would liken this to a slightly less intense version of Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure over in Universal Islands of Adventure.
Okay, so Hiccup Swing Gliders. It was a posted 10-minute wait. It was only 9 to the lockers and then another 3 to the ride vehicle, so a total of 12, which is not bad. And now I'm heading back into the Wizarding World to get something to eat. And then hopefully by the time I'm done eating, single rider will be back up for Ministry. Because honestly, of the rides that I love doing here, that's kind of the last one. And then I'll do Mario Kart later and just kind of suck up that wait because honestly, that's about it. I could do the carousel at some point because that's always a short wait. And I've done Yoshi's Adventure enough, I don't need to do that again. So yeah, who would have thought that I'd be able to do this much without Express Pass?
For lunch in the Wizarding World, I'm stopping by Café L'air de la Serene, which is probably one of the most beautiful quick service restaurants I have ever stepped foot in.
Okay, so for my drink, I got the Au Current Saison, which I have learned that a Saison is a pale, dry, highly carbonated ale, which I like carbonated beverages and I like a pale beer. I'm not a big fan of beer, so I don't like a heavy beer. And I've heard that this is a very fruity one, so let's see if I like it. That's actually not bad. For someone who's not a beer drinker, I am really glad that I got this because I'm not a huge fan of the Wizarding World beers that are from the original parks just because, again, I'm not a beer drinker, but this has a really nice black currant flavor that it tastes less beery to me, if that makes sense. You still get that carbonation, you do still get some of that beer flavor in the back, but it is definitely not as beer forward. If you're not a beer drinker, this might be a nice introduction. And on a hot day like today, this is going to be really nice outside. So now I'm just kind of waiting for my food to get delivered because at Universal, this is like a table service, quick service kind of thing, where you order on your phone, you mobile order, and then they will bring you your food. Okay, so I got the baguette de dinde, which is sliced, cracked black pepper turkey, apples, brie, arugula, topped with mustard butter and apple butter, served in a warm, crusty baguette. And it comes with a side of fries. And it is hot. I definitely didn't get any apples in that bite, but the turkey itself is really nice. It's like a deli turkey, so, but like a good quality turkey. I can taste a little bit of the honey butter because I'm getting a little sweet note. I didn't get any arugula in that bite, which is fine. I'm not a huge fan of how arugula tastes, but this is really delicious. They're Granny Smith apples. The apple butter and the honey butter give a really nice little sweet contrast. It's not super sweet, but it all pairs together beautifully. I really like this. I have been eyeing it before, but wanted to get the butterbeer crepe the first time. This is delicious. I'm so glad that I got this. Now let's try the fries. I personally am more of a fan of the McDonald's thin style fries. These are a little thicker than my liking, but they're good. They're a nice size where if you're gonna split this, you each get half a sandwich and some fries, or if you have a kid who just doesn't want to eat anything here, they can take the side of fries. But this sandwich is amazing, and I'm super excited to finish it, and I will definitely be getting this again. Okay, so after lunch, single rider for Battle of the Ministry was open, so I hopped in line for that. It was a posted 150-minute wait. It only ended up being 40 in single rider, which is awesome. I absolutely love that ride so much. It is so cool. The sets inside are absolutely amazing, and even though this world is themed to 1920s Paris, I love that they have that ride being the traditional timeline that we all know and love. So now, I think I'm going to ask and see, I'm just kind of wandering around the Wizarding World right now. I think I'm going to ask and see how early I should get in line for the 12:45 Cirque Arcanus show, because I haven't seen that yet. That's the only show I haven't seen, and I would really like to see it. But there's still about 25 minutes, but I don't know how early I need to get in line for that. So I'm going to go and ask, and we might do that. Okay, so according to cast member, I had a little bit of time, so I stopped into Caramel, which is the sweet shop here in the Wizarding World, and I picked up a sherbet lemon macaron, so I need a little something sweet after my lunch. The cookie itself is so perfectly chewy the way a macaron should be. I was a little worried at first because I didn't taste a lot of lemon, but the filling inside is so lemony, but it's not overpowering. The cookie itself is thick enough that it balances it out perfectly. This is delicious. It's the perfect size. It's nice and bite-sized. So if you're just looking for something small and sweet, this is absolutely perfect. 10 out of 10 recommend. Okay, so just saw Le Cirque Arcanus. I thought that was a very cute show. The way that they do it is super cool. I loved seeing all of the Fantastic Beasts. The one thing I will say, I don't think you necessarily need to know for sure, definitely not the Harry Potter story. But I don't know if you even need to know the Fantastic Beasts story. The only thing I will say is that you kind of need to know the whole concept of Newt's suitcase, because they make a couple comments about how they're in the suitcase. But if you have never seen the movies and you don't understand that reference, it might be a little lost on you. Whether or not you need to know that to enjoy it, I don't think so, but I thought it was a pretty cute show. And now I'm heading over into Isle of Berk. I think I'm gonna get a little something to drink, and then I'm gonna see how long the Toothless meet and greet line is. Okay, so the line for the Toothless meet and greet was an hour, and even with that line, it'll look short, but because they take their time with each individual interaction, it is a bit of a lengthier queue. So I stopped and got some Gobber's mead, and I'm just kind of hanging out at Gobber's workshop area. I really enjoy this mead. I still haven't decided if I like this one better than the one in Dark Universe. I continuously have them on separate days, so I can never try them like at the same day to really make my decision, but I do think this one is a little sweeter, which I personally like. So I think I'm gonna take a peek at the gift shop because it does seem like they got some new merch since previews. So I'm gonna go in there, kind of cool off a bit, and then make a game plan. Because we've done quite a bit so far. Okay, so of the couple of things that I haven't ridden yet today, Yoshi's Adventure is 45 minutes and Dragon Racer's Rally is 45 minutes. And frankly, in my opinion, neither of those are worth that wait. Yoshi's especially. So Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is currently posted 90. So I think I'm just gonna go and suck it up and wait in that line. Hopefully it's not really 90, but it is also kind of the peak heat of the day. So being inside an air-conditioned line wouldn't be the end of the world. So we'll do that. And then honestly, if I do things like the carousel, Yoshi's Adventure, or Dragon Racer's Rally, it's gonna be if they're like a 5-minute wait, which carousel's only a 15-minute, but again, I kind of want to be inside for the peak heat of the day. So off to Mario Kart.
Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge is in Super Nintendo World and has a height requirement of 40 inches. This is an AR style ride and it puts you into the game of Mario Kart. So if you've ever played that video game, this is the real life version of it.
Okay, so I did Mario Kart. It was a posted 90. I ended up waiting about 95. And only bummer was that my AR goggles weren't working. It is what it is. It's a very techy ride, so I'm not bummed. I've done it before, luckily, so I know what it is. But at least I was able to take in the sets because it is also a very set-based ride. I let the team members know afterwards, and they kind of just stared at me. And it's not like I was even letting them know to try to like get another ride on it, which would have been nice but unnecessary. But I was just kind of letting them know because they were putting a woman in that exact same seat as I was getting off, and I didn't want the experience ruined for her. So I'm sure it's chaotic over there, but it was just a little strange that I said, hey, the seat that you're putting this woman in, goggles aren't working. I just got off of that, so who knows. But now Hiccups is delayed and Monsters is down, so I think I'm gonna head over to Burning Blade to get a little snack because I've pretty much done everything. Because I don't need to do the carousel. I mean, if I have time. Right now it's a 25-minute wait. I'm not waiting 25 for a carousel. I'm not waiting anything more than 5 for Yoshi. And Dragon Racer Rally, I believe, was a longer wait than I would wait for that. So yeah, I'm just kind of gonna chill the rest of the day. I brought my camera, so maybe take some cool pictures of this amazing park. But yeah, I got a lot accomplished without Express Pass. That early entry, I think, is key. Okay, so just got a little snack at the Burning Blade. I didn't film in there purely because 1, it's dark, and 2, it's kind of crowded, and I found like one small little section of a table to stand at. But I got the Hunter's garlic steak, which is delicious and extremely garlicky. So like, don't get that if you're here on a first date. And I did get the dark thorn mead, and can confirm, I do think I like Gobber's mead better. They're very, very similar. I think Gobber's mead is just a little bit sweeter. This one is just a little bit more tart. While I was in there, had an awesome encounter with one of the monster hunters because he saw my little dragon on my shoulder. So we were talking about how I've trained this dragon and can use it to help me kill the monsters. So really, really love those random interactions that you can have in these worlds. But yeah, now Yoshi's a 20-minute, and honestly I'm not a fan of that ride, so I don't really want to do it or head back into Super Nintendo World. And Dragon Racer Rally is, I think, 35, and the carousel is 25. It is hot out. I kind of want to be indoors. So I really don't know what I'm going to do. So I've kind of done everything that I wanted. This kind of has turned into less of a how much can I do in a day and more into a my perfect day, which honestly my perfect day here is doing as much as humanly possible. So I kind of want to find somewhere inside where I can sit for a little bit because it's hot out. And while there's plenty of shaded spots, I am in a black t-shirt, which was my fault, my choice. So yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make the next Untrainable Dragon show, but I think I'm gonna park right here on this bench and figure out what I'm gonna do next. So I would like to see the Untrainable Dragon again today. So let me actually look up when the next show is.
The Atlantic is one of 2 table service restaurants here within Epic Universe, but they do also have a walk-up bar where you can go and order just drinks. I started off with the Grand Atlantic Martini, which is Monkey 47 Schwarzwald Dry Gin, Cochi Americano Bianco, and a gilded lemon twist. And this one is a very simple, classic gin martini. It was absolutely delicious. Nothing really more to say here because, again, it is a classic gin martini. Next, I got the Northern Lights, which is Beluga Noble Vodka, Polini Limoncello, Ferrand Dry Curacao, lemon juice, simple syrup, and a butterfly pea blossom ice beer with gold luster dust. And this one, the bartender told me, was like an upscale lemon drop, and it was absolutely delicious.
Okay, so I just spent like an hour and a half in the bar in the Atlantic, which is one of the table service restaurants here. The bar itself is walk-up availability, so you can go in and the bar is right there at the entrance, so you can kind of peek and see if there's any availability drinks there. Absolutely delicious. And honestly, I just kind of need to go somewhere to get out of the heat because I made the mistake of wearing a black t-shirt. So, but now it is 5:40, so I'm gonna see when the next Untrainable Dragon show is. And if not, just hang out in Berk and hang out for the rest of the afternoon and evening because park is open until 9, so I have like 3 hours and 20 minutes left. And yeah, just enjoy the scenery, enjoy the ambiance, because again, I've done everything, so if I can get on something again, that's great. But if not, I'm just gonna enjoy this absolutely beautiful park.
Instead of going to see the Untrainable Dragon, I decided to go to Celestiki instead, which is one of the walk-up bars here in Celestial Park, which features some cocktails, mocktails, and some frozen drinks.
Okay, so I'm at Celestiki now, and I got the Laturi Punch, which is Plantre rum, Bacardi rum, orange juice, lime juice, passion fruit puree, honey syrup, Angostura bitters, mint sprig, and a dried blood orange spice. And one of the women at the bar told me I should get this. Oh, that's delicious. This tastes like a drink that I would drink on a Disney cruise. This is a cruise, sit by the beach kind of drink, which makes sense. This is Celestiki. It's supposed to be a tiki bar. This is delicious. You taste a little bit of rum in the back, but it's not overpowering. Honestly, I'm tasting a lot of orange juice with like a hint of lime. I'm not gonna lie, I wish I tasted more of this mint sprig, so I'm gonna kind of shove it into the drink and make it taste a little bit mintier because I do like minty drink. This is delicious. This afternoon has just kind of turned into me trying out drinks that I haven't had. And before anyone gets concerned, I am staying at Stella Nova again tonight, and I am just going to walk back to my hotel room because it's across the street. So we're not drinking and driving. I do not condone drinking and driving. I'm staying at a hotel across the street, so it's fine. And I got one of these the first day I came for previews, one of their refillable mugs. I bring it back every time. Reactivated for the day, it's like $10, $11 after annual pass holder discount. And I've refilled this thing like 3 or 4 times already today between drinks with either Coke, lemonade, water, just anything to stay hydrated because it is hot today and I want to hydrate between drinks. So I am being safe, again with the hotel room, but enjoying myself because I have a hotel room. So this is delicious. I think after this, I'm gonna head back into the Wizarding World to get some fun pictures inside the Ministry because you can just walk in and do a Ministry viewing via the single rider line without actually getting on the ride. But while I'm there, I might also see how long the single rider line looks because why not ride that ride again? And hopefully, potentially do Monsters again when I'm in Dark Universe. So this afternoon is just gonna be, there's 2.5 hours left of park. I think I might just end up doing some re-rides because this How Much Can I Do has turned into just my perfect day. And I'm not mad. Well, that is a wrap here on my day at Epic Universe. I am actually shocked how much I accomplished today without Express Pass, but I do think the key is being a resort guest and taking advantage of that early park admission because I'm pretty sure today was a sold out day ticket-wise. Now, since we last talked, I walked around and took some pictures, and within the last hour noticed that Monsters and Chains was a 20-minute wait and Hiccup's Wing Gliders was a 15-minute wait. So I figured I'd hop on each of those, and both of them were walk-ons. So that was absolutely great to get to end the night on 2 of my favorite rides here at Epic Universe. But again, I don't know if I can say for certainty that you need Express Pass here. I think you have to have a good strategy, but we're gonna find that out next week because I will be back next week with Express Pass. So then I will let you know. But if you have a good strategy and you utilize that early park admission, I think you can get quite a bit accomplished. Now, obviously I didn't do every single ride today. I didn't do Stardust Racers, which never did to begin with because I'm still working my way up to that. Didn't do Fire Drill because, again, I don't like water rides. I could have done Yoshi's Adventure and the Carousel. Dragon Racers Rally was a pretty lengthy wait most of the day, so I don't know if I would have gotten on that one, but I mean, I got all the big rides done today. Again, aside from Stardust Racers, I did all of my big rides and one show today, and still had time to sit at the Atlantic Bar for an hour and a half. So I think that I was able to do quite a bit today with that Express Pass, far more than I expected to be able to do, and I had an absolute great day. Dare I say, one of my best days. So make sure to follow along because, again, I will be coming back next week and testing out Express Pass here at Epic Universe. So make sure to subscribe if you haven't, like this video, and follow me on all of my social media. Those will be linked in the video description. Bye, guys.